All right, guys, when you get ready to start installing fog lights on the Chevy Malibu, man, I just want to say it's hard to film and do this at the same time because it slows me down. I can get so much work done, like fast. Like if something take an hour to do, maybe it's gonna take you about 3 or 4 hours if you're trying to film it to get this footage for YouTube. Man. All right, guys, now we want to go up under the bottom because you're going to need to access this panel down here, especially to get the wires that you need to get through the firewall. So you want to take a 7mm or a 9/32 and put it on your impact wrench, or if you got a ratchet, that'll work too. Let me see what's holding this up, and did it just pop out? Okay, you got one. I see one up under here. So, trying to basically see what holds it. Let's see. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna need to go get my panel removers because it got it got some tabs like right here that you pop off with the panel remover. Let me go get that. All right, guys. Now you see those? Can you see it? Yeah, right there. You can also use a screwdriver too. You take these. This is what the upholstery remover, panel removers, panel poppers. I call them panel poppers. Remover. You just want to pop that out. You could use a screwdriver to do it too. I believe it's one right here, one right there, and then the tabs in the back just pop off. It popped forward, just slide forward. So let me get these out, and then I'll take the slide it off. All right, guys. Sometimes the panel remover, I'll get the pins in there. If they fresh and they don't want to move, they haven't moved a lot of time. You just stick the screwdriver like right in there, slide the tab down just a little bit, and then that's where the panel removers come in. You could just put it up in there, but you can use the screwdriver also and pop that down. Let's slide this out some more. There you go. And you can just pop it out with your hand like that, and then do the same thing. Basically the same thing to the other side. If you can see that where that opening at, you can get your screwdriver right up in there. And then just pop out, push it back in. Alright. That one came, whole thing came out that time. Just popped it out, pop it out. Alright. And then just like a little piece of cardboard, you just slide that out. You know, oh boy. All right, now if you can see, that's the alarm and the remote start I did, nice and neat. All right, now we're gonna have to find a 12 volt down here. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second, hold on. Hey, y'all forgive me for this. I just had to put the camera down because I had to get some of this stuff off. I don't want to be on it all day. All I did was pop this little panel down here. It just pops up. This rubber piece just pulls off, and then this panel piece right here just pops out. Everything pops out. And this, I just took this off so I could be able to see this little door that blocks the fuel panel. It just hooks right there and closed. Y'all didn't miss any important steps, I promise you. But I had to get this done. It's very tight. I already did the alarm and remote start on it, but I had put everything back together when I should have left it down. But I wanted to drive it around, so I haven't. I had to put it back. So And if you look, let me show you. Let me see if you guys can see this. If you look, I'll shine a light up there. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Let's see if you can see it. All right, see that rubber piece back there? To the back, right there, back there, where I'm pointing at. That's where I stuck my wire through. This car is very tight. It's very hard to get these wires through the firewall. But you see where that wire up here is going through there? I made a little slit right there for my the siren wire to go through, when I should have just made a slit while I was down there and sent my wire through for the fog lights too. Instead of putting it up there, made my job a whole lot easier. Now I got to go back over it, but that's my fault. And I'm trying to get it done without taking all day. And I'm trying to film you guys. And I know that you need a one of those wires off that wire harness for the fog lights. You're gonna need. I have no idea what this is right here. It's like a module, something over here that somebody had in here before me. I don't know what that go to. That's not my wiring, but I don't want to take that out yet. I don't know what they go to, but I don't want to take that out yet until I find out what they go to. You can either find the ignition wire up here. You can take it to, I know people take this to 12 volt, but I only want my switch to work if the ignition key on. So that way you don't accidentally leave it on. I know some people say, well, just easy to take it to 12 volt. I'm going to remember to cut it off. Yeah, not all the time. So I'm just gonna find the ignition wire. I'm gonna actually tap off my alarm box because I already went to ignition on there. So I'm just gonna take that wire to that. But for you guys who are looking for ignition, you can go back and search my other videos, like on alarm, when I install alarm, how to find ignition wire, accessory wire. And like I said, you can take a test light, take it to ground, and see these metal pins right here. I'll actually show you guys how you can find the ignition wire or ignition fuse, and you can tap off of there. They got like a little a wire, like a little spade clip for the end of the wire that you can tap off the fuse. You can just look that up, but I'll show you guys in a minute. After I slit that little rubber piece down there, and all right guys, my phone cut out. Sucks, lost some footage, lost the video. I was actually getting the wire through the firewall right here, and like I was telling you on there, you can take this long screwdriver, you make a little slit in the rubber, and you stick this through the rubber part on the firewall that I showed you guys down there. Stick the screwdriver through to the other end till you see it, and once you see it, you want to tie this, you want to tape this around the screwdriver with some black tape right here. And then you want to pull the screwdriver back through the firewall. That's how you get that the wire that you need for this harness. This is the harness that's gonna go up in the to your fog lights. It don't come with instructions, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get it, if you the part right here with the relay on it, you're gonna take that to the outside of the vehicle. This right here, the other part, you got your switch, the green plug on it, and then you got this harness right here. This green plug gonna go to the green plug with your switch, and then you got these three wires right here. This yellow wire, which is gonna hook to this wire that came from under the hood. That's gonna go to your fog lights. This black is gonna ground in the inside of the vehicle. You're gonna ground that with a self-tapper screw to the metal. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then this red, you can take that to 12 volt if you want, but that switch, you're gonna be able to turn your fog lights on whether the car on or not. But I prefer that you take this to ignition wire. I already got my ignition wire because I had put alarm remote start on here. So I'm gonna take the do the ignition off that part. So, and basically, like I said, this wire, the yellow wire, gonna go through the firewall. Now I showed you how to pull it through. I had the footage of me putting it around there. Then my phone rung, That's why I hate doing this on the phone. I'm gonna have to give me a spare phone to do this on and not do it on my main phone. Because as soon as people call, if I don't have it on do not disturb, it's gonna lose the video. All right. And this how the wire come through to the other end. Man, I hate I lost that footage. I had to screwdriver through the tape and everything. That was like a perfect video shot, but now this already coming off. So you just want to take the screwdriver and pop the cover off of here. This is if you watch the video, previous videos, you can see my unboxing of my fog lights that I ordered for the Malibu. This is the cover that goes on here. It's like chrome and black. And these are the fog lights that came in here. It came with the halogen lights. But I'm gonna take them out and put the LEDs that I ordered. And there you can also find a video of me unboxing my LED lights. And basically for some reason the H10 supposed to be the same as 9005. But the trim, I'm gonna have to trim either a piece of the plastic off of the headlight itself or the case, and I haven't figured out which one I'm gonna do yet, but it's supposed to sit up in there. Wait, is this the right one? Let's see if this is the right one. Let's see if this is the right one. All right, yeah, this is the right one right here. All right, put this up in there like that, and bam, it's gonna mount right there. And then the cover is gonna go over it. But these the speed clips that's for it too. You're gonna put the speed clip right there, speed clip right there, and then you're gonna put the screw through the headlights to mount that up in there. And then run the wire up. Run the wire up. Man, I hate that I lost that footage. But anyway, let me move on. Y'all get the idea of how to do it. It's real simple. All right. All right, guys. These are the LEDs that I picked up. You guys can already see the unboxing of them. I'm gonna take these off and I'm gonna show you that it's the same, but they just don't go in there quite. Let me take this out. All right. I can put this down here for a second. Pop this up right there. All right. That's it. Let me show you. Like it just don't. It just like it's off like by a hair. You see that? See that? Like it's supposed to fit up in there, but it's just a tip. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my file. I got a Dremel somewhere in there, but I can't find it. So I'm just gonna take an old file. It's rusty, like a little file, like a fingernail file. I'm just gonna file that plastic down just a hair so it'll pop in there. I gotta do that to both fog lights. You might have to do that if you're trying to put the regular bulbs. They come with the regular halogen bulbs. You don't need to do anything. But if you're trying to put LEDs or aftermarket lights in there, the 9005s at H10, you probably have to do it because it's not gonna exactly fit in there. All right, see that, guys? I took that filed it just a little bit on this edge, and then that edge right there a little bit, and I end up getting it down. So yeah, yep. So now I gotta do the same thing to the other one, and we'll be good to go. I can mount these up in the hole. All right, guys, back on the front. Just take these speed clips that came in a bag and just the rough side goes in the back. So just grab it, line it up like that. We put the screw in it, it'll tighten it up. So just put these on. Same thing for the other side. And then set the light up in there. That's the right one. Just drop this wire just right behind there. And then you just line them up like that. And they come with these screws right here. You can use the Phillip or the socket for it. So let me put this in there, and then we get to. Oh. All right, guys. Before I mounted, I just looked over the top of the hood, and before I mounted up in there, I want to run this harness first. Plug it up and then run it up first, cause in case I don't be able to get back behind there. So I'm gonna plug these lights in and run the harness up. Or just sit the harness on top and run these wires down. That's what I'll do, run the two plugs. Run these two plugs down to each side. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, let me do that. All right, got the harness ran to this side. I'll run that over there in a minute. Just make sure you run it out the way. I think there's a lot of space on this vehicle to just drop it down. So let me plug this up in the headlight, the fog light, and then mount this sucker up in there. All right. Be careful, don't lose these screws. I think I just dropped one somewhere, and I probably had to go to the hardware store or look in my toolbox and see if I got one, but just be careful not to lose these screws. It sucks. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you what wires. As you can see, I got the headlights just sitting out there outside. I'm not gonna mount them out them last. Those are plugged up. You know, I'm not gonna mount any wire yet. You just run a wire across here, at the top. Make sure you stay out of the way of the fan and everything. I'm gonna basically strap those up later. And the red wire off the harness, it come with this clip right here. You wanna see this on this battery? You wanna take that little nut off, and then put that back on there, put the nut back on. And then the other wire, for some reason they had the ground running off of this harness right here, which is no biggie. You're gonna take that and just basically mount it to the metal of the car. Any part of the metal that's a clean metal, you can mount it up here or whatever like that, or even back here. That's where I mounted my siren ground at. And then the yellow wire, the other wire off the harness, that's to the switch. That's coming from the red wire through the boot of the car. You want to take that wire right here and plug it right into there, and then you'll be done with the outside. Let me plug everything. Let me hook everything up, and then hook the. I still got to hook the ground and stuff up in the ground and ignition and stuff up in the inside, and then we make sure everything come on first. And then that's when we loom up the wires, we strap up the wires and everything, get some wire ties, make sure everything nice and neat. But you want to make sure everything is working properly first before you just go ahead and mount everything back up. So that way you ain't got to go back over and take everything down. All right, guys, so let me get this taken care of. All right, guys, now back in the inside. Now for you who don't know how to, who do not know how to ground this wire right here, you just basically get you some self-tapper screws. See that? It got like a spear, there right there. See the head on it? It's made like a drill. You just put it on your drill, and as you're drilling and mounting, it goes through the metal. Just find you a flat spot. Just make sure that's a good ground, and then just drill it into it. All right, guys, now that I got everything hooked up, I'm gonna test it, and then I'm gonna make all my wires neat because I don't like it looking sloppy. All right, I plug my switch up, hook that wire coming from the hood to the yellow wire like I told you guys about. I took the red instead of to 12 volt, I took that to an ignition on the alarm box. But you can also get it from the fuse box. I'm gonna show you how to get it from the fuse box real quick. You wanna, first of all, you wanna get you like a 12-volt test light. They sell them everywhere, Menards, Walmart, Best Buy, everywhere. Take this clip right here to a ground in the vehicle, a solid ground. I prefer probably to go right here, probably better ground. All right, now you see, this is how you find the ignition wire. You can find it out the fuse box. You see like the, let me see. See how that's lighting up right now and the key not in the ignition? That's a 12-volt wire. You don't want that, you don't want that. That's lighting up right now. Let's keep going. Let's find something that's not lighting up. Then we're gonna turn it with the key and see if it light up with the key. Because right now, all these are 12 volts so far. Okay, 12 volts. All these lighting up without the key being in there. So that means that's 12 volts and you don't want that. I mean, you can, you just got to remember to turn it off, but I'd rather go with ignition. Okay, these might be spares, but these might be ignitions also. Let me see. Okay, now let's turn the key for it. Now you see it's not lighting up right now. Now let's turn the key for it, then test it. Alrighty. Let's turn the key for it. Now test it. Okay, you see how that's lighting up right now? Now let me turn the, hold on, let me see if I can hold it at the same time. Let me turn the key off, on, start it. That's an accessory. You can use the accessory or the 12 volt, that's fine. I mean the ignition, that's fine. You want one of those wires right there. Then you could take a, you could take the wire and hook like a spade end on it. Take the wire end, the spade end on it to, you pull these out, and then a little blade on the fuse. You want to hook that little spade, it slides right on the blade, and you plug it back into the fuse box. You can look that up, and they sell those. And right there, it's an accessory. I would prefer looking for ignition. You know when it's accessory, if it's lighting up by the key for it, if you start it up and the light goes out and pop back on, that's accessory. Look for, you can also use that too, but look for the fuse, look for ignition fuse will be better. You can turn the key for it and it'll light up just like the accessory, but instead when you start it up, light won't blink out, it'll come back on like accessory, it'll stay steady. So you want to find something of that nature, or you could just take it to 12 volts. Like I said, you have to remember to turn it back off. Back off when you turn the car off, because otherwise you don't want your battery to drain. And I took my ground. This is where I drilled my ground into right there. I don't know what is this thing that was hooked up in here with these wires. I got to figure out. This was like this when I got the car, and then I just drilled it right there into the. That's what my ground going to the learn remote starter. I mounted it right there. So yeah. Now let's see if everything worked. I plug this in. I'm gonna mount this last. I just want to make sure everything working before I mount it and clean everything up. Make the wires all nice and neat. Okay. Turn the key for it. As you can see, my is on. I guess red mean off. Green is on. Let's find out. Let me turn it. It's on green. Let's see if the lights on. Let's see if the lights are on. Yep. The lights are on. Oh, them suckers bright too. Them the LED lights. Let's see if the other one on. So basically, yep. Everything done right. I'm gonna make that look neat, the nicer. I know in the beginning of the video, I pointed to this one, but I wasn't paying no attention. And I'm like, I hope nobody take it to the, this is the 12 volt, which you already know the red wire. Let's go to the 12 volt. You just loosen that screw up right there, hook it on there, and you should be good to go. But yeah, hook it to there. And I went over everything else with you. And now it's time to make everything nice and neat. Mount this relay and loom everything up. So we're gonna do that now. I can actually mount the headlights in the socket. in its place and put the covers on because we done with that. And guys, that's gonna be basically it. I'll show you guys what it looked like when I put it back together. And green is on, red is off. And I know this is not gonna stick from experience. So I'm gonna actually peel this off and go get some 3M tape. So I'll turn it back on when I'm actually done, guys. I catch you back when I'm done. Final results. All right, guys. These are the screws that I had to just run to the hardware store and get. The short 4 one is the one that came with the fog lights. Not only did I had to trim the plastic to get the headlights up in there, I had to go get the screws too. So you can't trust those kits that say, "Oh, it's a factory fit, OEM fit." Yeah, it's bull. End up having to get these 4 long screws to mount the fog lights up in there. So I'm about to do that, and then I'm about to make sure everything nice and neat, wire strap up in there. So let's get to doing that. Tell you what, man, if you're gonna order some aftermarket lights, make sure you get one from the dealer or a better reputable brand instead of the cheap eBay stuff. This stuff do not fit, man. And then I had to remove this ring around here just to get it to fit. And like this light finna bulge out. It's supposed to seat right up in there. You know, it's this cheap garbage, man. Wow. But they in there though, but I don't like how they turned out. So yeah, I just advise you guys, they do not fit in that flush. The panel that popped, the factory one that covered this up, is total different. The clips are different and everything is different. Everything is different. So I would just suggest you get them from the dealership if you're gonna get them fog lights. All right, guys, let me turn it on. At least make sure it works. Well, at least they work. I'm selling the vehicle anyway, so I'm just gonna leave them in there. But yeah, that's my advice to y'all, man. Get them from the dealership or get some good ones. That's a reputable brand, or try to go to the junkyard and take the housing and everything off the one that came with it. You know, the lights and the LED lights and everything look good, but I don't like that gap around there. The clip is not lined up just like the factory. It's different. The housing is totally different. They came close, but that's what happened when you get this eBay garbage. So, but other than that though, the wiring and everything, no, that's good. That ain't gonna change. I probably end up changing them or just something like this, but the wiring and harness and everything, that's good. LED lights, that's good. But the way this made, the fog light, it stick out too far. I had to go get screws because the screws they sent me was too short. The housing is lined up different, and I had to take that ring off for the cover to fit on there. Not perfect. Crazy. But anyway, guys. All right, guys. Remember I said when you finish, you got to do everything nice and neat. See? Everything wire strapped along here, going down. I got my wire loom all over my wire. Got that running over there. I got the fuse wire strapped up here, the relay and the fuse in case somebody need to change the wire. Then I got the wire loom right there running through the firewall. Everything nice and neat, strapped up. Can't go nowhere. Everything in case somebody need to change it or check over it. It'll be nice for whoever buy it. You know, it'll be a nice vehicle. But yeah, that's it. All I gotta do is put the inside back together and I'm done. But basically, I just wanted to show you, everything nice and neat. It sucks that the eBay China brand, people are always copying stuff. They make it close, but if it's not the factory or GM, don't buy it. Don't buy their kits. So that's my advice to you guys. If you're gonna go and get some And fog lights, make sure they the real deal OEM. Go to the dealership if you had to. All right, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this video. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.
Perfect.